how's it going, man?
Chris Jericho, good to see you, brother. Where are you? Are you on a bus right now?
I am. I am on the tour bus talking to you in Garden Grove, California, basically Anaheim area.
Very cool. Very cool. Chris, arguably the hardest working showman in the business. First couple of questions. I'm curious, when do you sleep and do you still remember the names and faces of your wife and 3 kids?
Yeah, it's kind of one of the misconceptions that I'm on the road constantly. But for us, even on this tour, we always do 5 shows a week, and then we have Tuesday, Wednesday off.
Okay.
And in that time, sometimes I still do Dynamite, our AEW show on Wednesdays. Sometimes I don't. So I'm seeing my family every week, even if it's only one day. And also, too, we do our tours with always 10-day breaks in between. So I'm gone right now, but then I was just home 10 days a few weeks ago as well. So it's not as much as you think, because obviously you got to balance it, man. You have to have that family life as well. And I've got a real kind of cool system figured out of being able to spin all the plates equally.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Well, Chris Jericho, congratulations on Fozzy and this new album, Boombox. Man, today a big day. The record available wherever people steal music nowadays.
That's what I've been saying too. Exactly.
Man, I got to tell you, just listening to this thing, it is so thorough. I mean, you're covering a lot of bases here. Some of the songs are incredibly heavy. There's a couple of ballads on there. Obviously I've been following Fozzy for about 20 years now, a little over 20 years. Hard to believe that, what started as a bit of a novelty has really turned into something real. And the last time you and I caught up, you were at home. You said something to me about songwriting, and I'm a musician myself, but what you said really struck me hard. You indicated that you look at songs like come up with a great hook and then have another hook to follow up that hook. And then it's just stacked hook upon hook upon hook. How did that mentality come through on the new album?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the triple hook theory. And we basically picked it up when we started working with Johnny Andrews, who produced the Judas record, and then he produced Boombox as well. He's a very successful songwriter, and it's kind of that old Def Leppard trick. Here's the hook. Oh no, here's the hook. Oh no, here's the hook. And it really worked for us. Judas was a big breakthrough for us. Obviously, the song was huge. It just went gold. We got a gold record for Judas, which is huge. And all the radio play we got. And like I said, I never realized how important rock radio was until we started getting played on rock radio. So we definitely wanted to continue that. We didn't want it to be Judas Part 2, but rather an extension of what we did with the Judas album. So that's kind of what the whole mindset was for Boombox. The difference was for this one, we've been joking that the title of the record was going to be Chinese Fozzocracy, because it took us so long to finish this thing. Yeah. And obviously, we ended up with this pandemic that kind of messed everything up. So what we did, though, is we were able to really hone those songs. We didn't write a bunch of new songs. We've never been that type of band that does, here's 30 songs and we pick 12 and we use 18 for B-sides. We have 12 songs that we do. We work on them, we hone them, we sharpen them, we rework them, and then they're ready to go. So having that extra time to basically not have much to do really gave us that edge in making sure that every one of these songs was crafted perfectly. And I think we did that. I think all 12 songs on this record could be singles. And that's kind of what we wanted to do. We really believe in the whole concept of a great album with a great, a great track listing that takes you on a journey where every song is like, that's a good song. That's a good song. No, that's a good song. So the extra time gave us the luxury to do that.
Yeah, that's great, man. And so listen, you said this, not me, but I think it's true. Don't take offense to this. I'm not a big wrestling fan. And the reason I got into music is because growing up as a kid, I was never incredibly sports inclined, aside from maybe swimming. I was a great swimmer and I played a little bit of baseball, but sports was never really my thing. Wrestling kind of included it on that. So when I heard some of your early music, frankly, I couldn't give a shit who Chris Jericho, the wrestler, was. I only cared about are the songs solid? In the early days, did you feel that there was some big pressure on you to make music that stood on its own and almost distant yourself from the celebrity of Chris Jericho, the WWE star?
Well, I mean, yeah, and the thing is that I always wanted to be in a band and I wanted to be a wrestler. I've been playing in bands since I was 13 years old. I didn't just wake up one day and go, I'm going to start a band. So I always kept them distanced. It was never, going on stage and singing about body slams and, giving each other leg drops on the stage. It was always the band because, like you said, who cares what Chris Jericho does outside of this stage? And the people that do care, we had to work twice as hard to get their respect, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Every band has a gimmick,
Yeah.
right? Kiss has makeup. Slipknot wears masks. Fozzy has a wrestler as a singer. Pretty Reckless has an actress as a singer. Who gives a shit? That lasts for as long as one song.
Yeah, no,
And then, like you said, it's either good music or bad music. And what we've been able to do over the last 3-4 years now, especially, is we have such an energetic, exciting live show.
right.
Combine that with 6 consecutive top 20 hits, a
Unbelievable.
gold record, everything in between. There's really nothing more that we can do. Like, if you still don't like the band because I'm a wrestler, then you're probably never going to like us. And that's fine. I never was the guy that wouldn't listen to a band because of this. I listened to the music, like you said, and that's the most important thing. And that's always how we've built and carried this band.
Man, mad respect on that for sure. And like I said, it's such a solid album. The album is called Boombox, out today. Some heavy songs, some ballad leaning material. And there's a killer cover there. Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Relax. Tell me about the decision to make that track and really make it your own, because I'm always impressed when a band redoes a song and either really nails the essence of it or makes it completely different so it's still recognizable, but just completely bizarrely different. I think you guys really stood true to the essence of what the song initially was.
Well, every year on the Jericho cruise, Fozzy plays a cover set where we just go and play songs that we don't usually play. And Relax kind of came into our brain, and we played it, and it went over huge live. It's one of those songs that everybody knows, but when Fozzy plays it, it's almost like industrial, like Rammstein or something like that.
Yeah.
And we just thought, this is really cool. Let's record it, see how it sounds, and if it works, let's put it on the record. And we did, and we've been playing it live for about 6 months now, and people love that song. It's one of the highlights of the set is when we play Relax, because it's just such a familiar song, but when you make it a little heavier and just a slight bit quicker tempo, it just turns it into a completely different tune. So and we like that. I mean, we could cover Mental Health and we could cover I Don't Know, and we have, but when you do a cover that you're going to put on a record, you want it to be a little bit outside of the box. A few years ago, we did SOS by ABBA, which worked really well for us. And we thought, Relax, that's a perfect song that no one will expect Fozzy to cover. But when you hear it, everyone's going to go, this is cool. Yeah. This is great. And that's what we did.
So $1 million question. Do you guys, and I don't know how, deep in the weeds we have to get here, but do you guys have single rights on that song? Can you release that as a radio single and generate revenue?
You don't have to
plan.
You don't have to get rights. You license it. So anybody that's ever had a cover on the radio, obviously the songwriters get the royalties from it.
Right.
So that anything, Bad Wolves doing Zombie with, 1 billion views on YouTube. What that does is when Bad Wolves come to town, people want to go see them play Zombie, but all the money made from the Zombie song goes to the Cranberries or whoever wrote the tune.
Yeah. So, I mean, are there plans to release Relax as perhaps a 4th single from this record?
You nailed it, man. I actually think it could be a great 4th single. I think it's one of those songs, like I said, that everybody knows, but nobody expects it. And when you hear it, it really works well as this heavy tune. It really fits the Fozzy vibe. So if I was going to choose the next 2 singles, I mean, obviously Sane was first. I Still Burn is the second one. I would earmark Relax as the fourth if the album is enough of a hit to warrant a fourth, and I hope that it is.
Well, I'll test it out for you here in Reno. You're going to be here on
Do
Monday.
it.
We're going to hang out in person. I'll let you know what the audience reaction is. How about that?
That sounds great. I'm really, yeah, we're really excited to come to Reno. I don't think we've ever played in Reno before.
Yeah, you played up at Lake Tahoe, up at a place called
We did.
Crystal Bay Club, one of the finest rooms on the West Coast, if not the entire USA. That venue you guys played up in Lake Tahoe. Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Frank Sinatra had that place customed out to his liking.
Yeah, I love that part of the country. So, and we're really excited to play Reno. So, it's one of the highlights of the tour for me. Whenever I see the tour itinerary, I go through and what cities am I really excited about? And Reno's one of them. I've always had great times there. I've wrestled there a few times. Never played with Fozzy, so we're going to take care of that and make it all go away and change that on Monday.
All right, that sounds great, man. Now there was some controversy here recently. Eddie Trunk put that Los Angeles band on blast. I'm not going to mention the band for having backing pre-recorded vocal tracks. And then some people on the web were giving Eddie Trunk a whole bunch of crap because Eddie Trunk has been a huge fan of Fozzy. And I'm not trying to sling mud here, but I'm curious, how much does Fozzy as a band rely on backing tracks live? I know it's something that happens, is pervasive in this industry. Some bands utilize it more than others. Is it if whatever machine is running backing tracks, does that mean being able to do a show or not do a show?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think there's a real misconception. When you use the word rely, that's also the wrong word to use as well. What you use, and Eddie Trunk actually came to our show at Asbury Park and did a whole show about Fozzy, in that we are all playing and singing 1,000%. What we use tracks for is background noises, keyboards, industrial sounds for relax, ambiance, that sort of thing. And that's what bands use. That's what we use backing tracks for. Take the tracks away. As a matter of fact, in Aurora, Illinois on this tour, the tracks completely shut down. We did the entire set exactly the way that it was, and it sounded great. It's just, you have that little, it's ear candy and little extra nuances that makes the show just better, and it makes it sound better because you're hearing things that you can't do if you don't have a keyboard player or a string section. Army of One has a whole symphony on it. What are we going to do? Pack up 15 guys in a tour bus and take them with us down to, wherever the hell we are. So that's kind of I think is obviously some bands do use them more. Santa Cruz was using them. That's the band. We toured with Santa Cruz. I think in this day and age, there's so much of a debate about it where most people really don't care. It just adds to the show, and most people don't analyze it like that. But for the Eddie Trunk thing, you can go listen to his Sirius show on Octane or whatever it is on Louder, and listen to him when he came to the Asbury Park show at the Stone Pony that we had. And he said, I came to see the show and I was analyzing it, and they were singing and playing, and it was great. And they were an awesome band. So, that's just, for whatever reason, we got lumped into this whole discussion because I said we use tracks.
Yeah.
Ask Zach from Shinedown if they use tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Ask Matt from Avenged Sevenfold. It's just how bands work. Yeah. Unless you're going to go out there like the Stones with 17 people, and we can't do that. Yeah,
I play in a band here locally called Black Sunshine, and one of our songs is Seize the Day, and we had the Vienna Orchestra do the orchestration for it. So
right on.
When we play that song live, we can't take in an orchestra with us, although we do have that in the works to maybe do a one-off video shoot like that. But yeah, the back.
Sure, but if you're going to go play in frickin', Sheboygan, Wisconsin, it's not plausible. It's not practical. Yeah. And it's like I said, this is rock and roll. If I want to put fucking strings on a song, I'm going to do it and play it on the track. Guess what? When Queen was touring in the 70s and they did Bohemian Rhapsody, they didn't have 5 opera singers going Scaramouche, Scaramouche. They used tracks. Would you say Queen is a track band? No, but they used tracks. It's okay. People, it's okay.
So the Save the World tour has been huge, and it looks like I'm seeing dates through the end of May, and then from end of May until November, it's blank. Are you looking to fill in some of that blank with shows during that time, or is this a pause to
Yeah, we're going back. We'll be going back out again in September, October in the States. We're going to go to the UK in November. We're going to Australia in December. So for us, it just worked out time wise with Boombox coming out and the tour. We were out in September, October of last year, and the summer everybody's out and touring. So we thought, well, we'll promote the record before the summer and after the summer, and kind of take those few months off and stay out of the traffic jam of bands who are touring.
Sure. And I hear that it's tough to get people to drive a truck nowadays because of supply chain issues. So, hey, I urge people to come out early to the show. You've got a couple of opening acts on this bill, and a friend of mine caught the show in Austin, Texas a week or so ago and said, oh my God, the opening bands Crash Karma and GFM, Gold, Frankincense, Myrrh. And one of the radio guys said, I guess there's an audience for Jesus Screamo rock. So he said, ask Fozzy, or ask Chris Jericho about these opening bands. What can you tell me about them? Did you handpick them for this tour?
Yeah, they call themselves Beauty Core.
Beauty Core. Okay, I'll make sure of that.
We did. Rich picked Crash Karma. And I suggested Crash Karma, and I suggested GFM. And here's the reason why. You never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. And we played some show in Berlin 5 years ago, and Crash Karma was on the bill with us. And we're like, this is amazing. It's a two-piece band that just killed it. And they're very unique and different. Looking for opening bands for this tour, their name gets brought up. We played a festival, like a bratwurst sausage fest, or whatever the hell it's called, in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. It was a lightning storm, so we didn't even play. But the band before us that played until the storm came was these three girls in cheerleader outfits and weird kind of cool makeup on their faces, just killing it. And I was like, who are these guys? GFM. Who's their manager? It's their mom and dad. They're right over here. Get their number if we ever need them. And we brought them up for this tour as well. So we are very involved in putting together the show. We don't just have a bunch of random bands. It has to fit the vibe of Fozzy, and it has to be something interesting. Because if you show up at 7:00 and we're not on until 9:30, I want you to be entertained and leave the night going, that was a great night of rock and roll. And that's what we have. We're big fans of both the bands, and every band we ever tour with, we put a lot of time into it to make sure it's the right package for everybody that comes to the show.
That's dynamite.
So yes, I do suggest you come early, because you don't want to miss either one of these bands, because I guarantee you haven't seen anything like either one of them before.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Well, Chris, again, congratulations on the new album, Boombox. Can't wait to see you on Monday. We'll hang out. If you have an appetite, maybe we can go grab lunch and I can show you the video of us doing this song with the Vienna Orchestra. You might get a kick out of it.
That's very, very cool, man. Like I said, we're really excited to come to Reno. It's going to be a great show. So you deserve to be there. I deserve to be there. We deserve to be there together. So come hang out with us.
It'll be fun, man. Thanks very much, Chris. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, dude. Thanks, man. Bye.